All right, everybody. So as you can most likely tell by the title of the stream slash video, I am going to be taking over the Browns. We're going to start in real time. We'll start a new franchise. We're going to start on Super Bowl Sunday. So there are no more games to be played. There's no, postseason shenanigans. We're not going to deal with the trade deadline or anything like that. We're just going to jump in. Final week of the season, Rams, Patriots, and we will let the simulation decide who wins. Who knows who's going to win, but we'll figure that out as we go. And we sure as hell aren't going to have Hugh Jackson as our head coach. We're gonna nip that in the bud right now. What we should have done a long time ago. We're gonna go with the man, Freddie Kitchens, the innovator. Came in, made Baker Mayfield legit, even though I feel he was already legit, but gave him a chance to grow, which Hugh did not. So we're going to hand over the reins to him. I don't know. Is he heavy? I feel like he's just a normal dude. I feel like he's just a normal dude. He's not skinny. He's not fat. He's not a million. He's kind of bald, right? Oh, that's not. All right, we'll just go with. He's got a beard. Yeah, that's Freddie Kitchens. Sure. Yeah, sure. He wears a hoodie. Beautiful. I guess we'll stick with the same playbook. That's cool. We can always change it later if we decide. We're gonna set this up on all Madden, so that I can hate myself, because all Madden's fun. We'll leave everything on, all the pre-existing injuries. It's going to be like we're jumping into a real game. Not a big fan of 15-minute quarters. I feel like score lines get kind of overinflated. You end up with a lot of like 35 to 40 games and shit like that, and that's not really all that fun in my opinion. This is my 26th franchise. I've been doing this probably too much this year. It's what ends up happening on every single Madden game that comes out. I make like 70 franchises, and I don't know. I overdo it, I feel. So, first things first, we need to address some positions of need. All right, and as it's sitting right now, we don't have a true fullback, which probably won't super duper matter, but with the type of offense that I like to go with, I prefer to be more of a power run team, especially having Nick Chubb in, who for some reason is considered a power back. I mean, I guess he does fight through the middle a little bit, but I'd consider him to be more of an elusive guy. I mean, he makes a bunch of players miss in open space. I think he led the NFL in missed tackles, at least percentage-wise, according to Pro Football Focus. But, I mean, make of those stats what you will. I think they're pretty solid. But having a 22-year-old with star development, with 90 speed, 89 trucking, 90 carry, you can't beat it. I mean, he's going to be unstoppable. So I want to build the offense around him. It sucks for Duke Johnson. It really does. It is a huge bummer for Duke, because he has more than earned that starting role. He absolutely has earned it. He just doesn't fit in with the AFC North. It's a very physical division. The Steelers always have a really good front seven. The Bengals are notorious for having one of the best defensive lines in football. The Ravens are notorious for having one of the best defenses in football. It's just not easy, for a 5'9" pass-catching back to succeed in the AFC North. If Duke Johnson went to, I don't know, New England, or, if he went and took over in Kansas City, if he went to one of those, pass-heavy teams. Shit, if he went to San Francisco, he'd probably be a superstar. It just doesn't work in our system. It's a run-heavy division. It's a very power-heavy division. He's shy of Christian McCaffrey. He might be the best third down back in football. It sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. And the scheme that we've got Baker in isn't helping him develop. So he's considered a strong arm, which is fine. We can always just go, instead of being a multiple power run, we can just make ourselves a vertical power run. Easy peasy. Now, the offensive lineman might not be ideal for that, but that's all right. Hubbard's good for it. Robinson's good for it. I don't know how long we're going to hold on to Chris Hubbard, because he is 27. He'll be 28 start of next season. He's probably going to start declining fairly soon. I mean, once he hits about 29, it's going to be over. So next season, he might progress. We might get him up to like a 75, maybe a 76. Then we're probably going to have to move on for him. He was just a stop plug anyways. I mean, we might be able to set up, just keep Greg Robinson on the left side, move Desmond Harrison to the right side. Maybe we see how Hubbard declines, if he does at all, and we'll go from there. We've got all the downfield pass catchers from tight end. Darren Fells isn't a deep threat by any means, but he's still a good tight end. Mayfield stands out. Higgins is considered a deep threat. Ratley, Callaway, Perriman, they're all considered deep threats, which is fantastic. We'll keep developing Higgins into a deep threat, because that's really all he's missing. He's got solid hands. Spec catch is okay. Catch traffic's all right. Good jumping. I mean, he's elusive in space enough for a receiver. I mean, he's not like Jarvis or anything, but he's still a pretty solid open field receiver. Plus, he's what, 6'1", 6'2", 6'1"? He's your pretty average run-of-the-mill guy. He's what you're looking for. He's a nice number 3, maybe number 4 option. And then Landry, same thing with him. I mean, he's going to catch anything and everything you throw anywhere near him. His biggest issues being his overall speed and his downfield ability. So we'll just boost both of those guys up, turn them into deep threat types of receivers, and then the whole offense should pan out pretty well, I think. So that's our biggest concern on offense. I mean, J.C. Tretter's probably, of all the starting centers in the league, he's probably the worst power blocker. I mean, you can look at his stats all you want in real life. He's a pass blocking center through and through, and that's all you're going to get out of him. And that's fine. Like, that's not a knock on him. That's tough to do. I mean, being able to come into the league and be an elite pass blocker at any position's tough, especially at center, where you've got to worry about 340 nose tackles bearing down on you. But we're fine with that. Batonio's probably the best left guard in football. According to them, he is the best left guard in football. Zeitler's pretty damn good himself. He's up there with Zach Martin and Marshall Yanda. We're fine on the offensive line. That internal trio is really solid. And then Robinson's going to continue to develop. Even with his normal development, he's still young. He's almost a 75. We'll keep bumping him up. He'll be fine. And then on the defensive side, everything's pretty solid. I mean, Randall, I think, he was a great find for us last year. It was a hell of a steal on the trade market. He's going to be great at free safety. Peppers he's kind of like that Landon Collins breed, where he's super athletic, really fast, strong for his size. He's kind of the new prototypical NFL quote-unquote strong safety. He's good in the box. He can run nickel coverage. You can put him on the edge and blitz him if you want. He's good all around. And then I think Derrick Kindred's your old school type of strong safety, to where he's kind of your extra linebacker, but he's also athletic enough, he's speedy enough, he's quick enough to be a DB. You can keep him, underneath in hook zones and stuff like that. He's really good at making contact across the middle. So if we ever want to come in with a situation where we put Peppers in the box, we turn him into, our sub linebacker, or we send him on an edge rush, Kindred can step in and be a really solid, strong safety. So far as the corners go, I'm kind of iffy, because outside of Denzel Ward, we don't have, really any what I would consider to be good defensive backs. I mean, Terrence Mitchell is solid, I guess. He's okay. He's 5'11". He's not as fast as you'd like. His zone coverage isn't very good. He's more of a nickel corner just because of his ability to press and get up in, you know, those smaller, quicker receivers, jam them up at the line, don't let them get their quick routes off. I mean, TJ Carey's kind of... I mean, I don't hate him, but again, he's 28, and the way Madden works is next year or the year following, he's just going to fall off. He's going to plummet. He's got, I mean, that 90 speed is what you're looking for. And the way they've worked it, he's not going to drop below 90 speed. But 76 man coverage, it's just not... He's not bad, all right? He'd be an ideal, like... I feel like he's the ideal dime corner. You bring him out on 3rd and 20, and he covers, you know, that extra receiver, that fourth string guy, not the slot guy, not either of the two big outside targets. He's kind of your extra defensive back. I don't have any faith in Gaines. He's a reject from, I think, Buffalo. If you can't fit in Buffalo's secondary, you're not good. He's just speed. He's essentially just a special teamer for us, which is fine. I mean, every team needs that. He's just a fast body. He'd be like a really solid gunner on punts and stuff like that. And then Body Calhoun kind of falls into the middle ground of like 5 different positions. He could be your number 1 corner. He's just not big enough. He could be your slot corner, but he's not really solid up at the line of scrimmage with bump coverage. He doesn't have the hands to patrol free safety. He's just kind of like, he's solid and I like him. He's a good player. He's quick. He's more physical than most free safeties. And he's not beefy enough and strong enough to be an in the box, like, strong safety type, but I don't feel as though he's not instinctive enough to run center field in like a cover 3 type sort of scheme. He's solid in a cover 2, cover 4 sort of defense, which doesn't work all that well because Peppers isn't really a good zone cover guy. Neither is Kindred. We're looking more sort of at having, like, Demarius Randall is a great center field free safety. He is athletic. He is smart. He's got good hands. He can tackle well enough over the middle. He's ideal. He's what you want. He's not, I mean, he's no Earl Thomas or anything like that, but I don't know if we're going to slide Body Calhoun back to corner, which is where he was when we drafted him, and just have him be like our go-to nickel corner. Have Calhoun and Mitchell be like the dime or the nickel and dime, or the dime and, let's see, Mitchell and Calhoun would be the nickel and dime DBs respectively, because Mitchell is more physical. He's got better press coverage. He's better at the line, but Calhoun would be phenomenal again on that number 4 receiver. He's a big enough body. He's fast. He's athletic. He'd cover well. So I feel like we need to address that. We need to either go on the trade market and give up, you know, an extra defensive tackle, one of those extra, you know, defensive ends, maybe give away like an Earl Watford. I don't want to give up Corbett. I like Corbett. I think he's going to progress really well. He's already a solid guard. He's already considered good enough to start, but he's not going to get the start over Zeitler or Batonio. It's just not going to happen. The only other option I potentially foresee happening is when Hubbard starts to decline, maybe because Corbett played left tackle in college. That's where he played at Nevada. Same with Batonio. Maybe we slide Robinson over to the right tackle because I'd say he's a better run blocker just because of how big and strong he is. 6'5", 334. Like, that's a right tackle. He's a good lead blocker. He's going to be really solid on those outside power runs and stuff like that. I feel like Corbett's more of a prototypical pass blocker, just in he's better with his feet. He's better at getting out wide and steering those faster, speedier defensive ends, your pure pass rushers. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But back to the defense, I think so far as DBs go, we need to get ourselves a true number 2 corner, because Denzel Ward's the man. He's going to be the man. He's big enough. He's fast enough. He's physical enough. He's everything you want and more. I mean, if he were 2 inches taller, great, but he's not. So I think what we're going to do with him is we're just going to keep building up his slot rating. That's what you want to call it, because that will help him more with his tackling ability, which is a big deal. That's basically the only thing he's having issues with. I think his catching should be higher, honestly. He had, 3 picks in the first 2 games or something like that, and then nobody threw to him, so he couldn't pick off anybody. But I feel like we just need to work on his tackling, help him, be better in the run game. Again, it is the AFC North. It's a big deal. Ravens can't run the ball for shit, but they haven't been able to do that since Jamal Lewis. That's besides the point. And then so far as our linebacking core goes, I'm iffy about it, because we don't really have a standout linebacker. You've got Kuechly in, Carolina. You've got Van Der Esch in Dallas. You've got Wagner. You've got, all kinds of big name, legitimate linebacker. Telvin Smith. All those. Everybody seems to have one big playmaker. I don't feel the Browns have that. I feel like that might be our biggest issue. We got Levante David, who's a great playmaking linebacker. We're not even going to talk about the Cardinals, because they are, as a whole, just a giant dumpster fire, so don't pay no mind to them. You've got these weird, Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram make up for anything their linebackers fail to do. Either one of them could, if they wanted to, drop back and play linebacker, so we'll leave that alone. You've got, Justin Houston and Dee Ford, who, Dee Ford kind of came out of nowhere. You can talk shit about his offside call as much as you want, but everybody seems to have a legit linebacker. Darius Leonard, and like I said, Van Der Esch, Sean Lee when he's healthy. I feel like that's our biggest issue. All these legitimate teams always seem to have a really good standout linebacker. So I feel like, I don't know. I don't know exactly where I'm going with this, because Schobert, I think, is a really good field general. He's a smart guy. He's the mic backer. He's what you're looking for. He just doesn't really stand out. I guess I should give him fair credit on his coverage abilities. He's pretty good in coverage. He's made a lot of good reads. He had a couple picks. He's not particularly fast. He's not particularly good at wrapping up the ball carrier. He doesn't hit hard. He doesn't really do any one thing great, but he's not bad at anything. So I think we hold on to him. We keep him as our mic backer, because he can do a little bit of everything. If we stick in a 4-3, he's a great mic backer. If we switch to a 3-4, he's still going to be a solid, run defender. We might even be able to, keep him back in pass coverage. I think he's all right. Jamie Collins was good. He hasn't quite lived up to the hype you expected, but I'm almost considering having him do more of a pass rushing sort of role. Him and Jannard Avery kind of rotating in and out, both doing the same thing, because, I get it. He's supposed to do everything, but he's coming from that New England scheme, if you want to call it, that mindset of they don't really run a 4-3, they don't really run a 3-4, they don't really run a 5-2. They just kind of do whatever. So your outside linebackers need to be good at everything. They have one nose tackle on their team in Danny Shelton. Everybody else can play every defensive line position. They can play interior pass rush at what the game considers a defensive tackle position. You can be an interior pass rusher in like a 3-4 sense, like an Aaron Donald or a J.J. Watt. You're kind of defensive end in that system, but would really be a pass rusher on like a 4-3, be a defensive tackle. You can have your pure edge rushing guys. Everybody does everything. And like Trey Flowers is the perfect example. He's not overly athletic or anything, but you can put him anywhere. You could put him at outside linebacker in a 3-4 if you wanted. He's a defensive end. You can put him at defensive tackle. He does it all. And I feel like that's what Jamie Collins kind of falls into. But he really, really lacks in coverage. And that doesn't really fly in the NFL. You have to have good coverage linebackers. And he's just not. I mean, he doesn't really excel at anything. He's a hard hitter. He's athletic. That's it. He's not a great tackler. He's not great at beating blocks. He's not great in coverage. He doesn't really do any one thing great. He's just an athlete, and it doesn't pan out. He's 28. He's going to start to regress in a year. I genuinely can't believe they have him listed as a pass coverage linebacker. I think that's absurd. I think we need to get somebody in here who's got better coverage, somebody who's better at wrapping up the ball carrier. He doesn't have to, I mean, if he's got negative power and finesse moves, I don't care. It's very rarely that I'm going to send my outside linebackers on blitzes. If I'm going to send anybody, it's going to be an inside linebacker. So there's not really a ton of concern there. And then Jannard Avery, I have no idea what to do with him because he's clearly a pass rusher. He is 100% designed to be a 3-4 outside linebacker. Absolutely. It's not even a contest. But we run a 4-3. You can't stray from that. You've got Myles Garrett. He's got to be that prototypical outside 4-3 defensive end. I'm sure if we did ever switch to a 3-4 and set him up with, that outside edge rush, that Von Miller role, and we were like, hey, look, we're going to need you to sit back and play some zone coverage, he'd do it. And I know he'd do it. He wouldn't fail at it. He wouldn't be terrible at it. He's that kind of guy. He's your do-it-all, shows up early, leaves late, does everything you ask him to do type of defender. But that's just not his game. That's not what he did at Texas A&M. That's not what he's going to do here. We have to build around him. Which brings us back to Avery, who I feel like if we hit up like the Ravens or the Texans or the Bills or any of those classic 3-4 teams, we'd be able to get a hell of a return for him. But I don't want to give up on him. He's 23. He's already a really highly rated outside linebacker. Maybe we can just stick with him as he is and just try and build from there. Maybe we do get fancy. Maybe we do take advantage of and utilize the fact that he is a really solid pass-rushing outside linebacker, and maybe we keep him and Collins, like I said, in some sort of rotation and just have them be really aggressive pass rushers, because you can always drop Ogba out. He's not going to embarrass himself in coverage. If we ever want to do some sort of weird fancy blitz where Ogba drops back and he's in zone coverage and we send, Collins or Avery, that might work. So maybe we'll hold on to him, see how it goes. Again, I really like Joe Schobert. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. We painfully need depth behind him because our two backup mics are beyond bad. They're practice squad rejects that we just picked up. Christian Kirksey, I feel like has the potential to be a really, really solid lockdown run-stopping outside linebacker. He's kind of the yin to Avery's yang. He's not a pass rusher. He's not, some crazy athletic freak. He's not going to get to the quarterback, but he can absolutely stuff the run. When we ran the 3-4 a couple years ago before we took Garrett, he was an inside linebacker. He was a middle run stopping on ball linebacker. He wasn't an off ball guy. He wasn't in coverage ever. He just, hey, get up in the middle, stop the run, and that's what he did. And he did it really, really well. And then transitioning him over to a 4-3, well, he doesn't fit that Mike role. He's not the single middle linebacker. I don't know if he just doesn't have the football smarts to do it. You know what I mean? Like, that middle linebacker on your defense he's the quarterback of the defense. He's going to run the whole team. He runs that side of the ball. He's going to make audibles. He's going to adjust play calls. He's going to hot route guys. I just don't know if Kirksey's got that in him. So I think, again, we stick with him for now. He's only 26, so he's got a couple years to develop. Maybe we perk into more coverage, see if we can get his zone better, see if we can get his man better, see how he pans out. But I think we're solid. I'd like to get another defensive tackle because Carl Davis is swell and all, but I'd say he's more a nose tackle than anything else. He's not... I guess, I mean, every good 4-3 needs to have one of two different types of defensive tackles. You do want to have the really good high-energy pass rushing defensive tackle, and that's what we've got in Ogunjobi. He's absolutely been a steal. I mean, I don't remember if he was our third-round pick or if he was one of those supplemental picks. I always mix up him and that kid out of Florida whose name escapes me, but I feel like I want to move on from him just for lack of pass rushing ability. Because he's got solid power moves, and I guess his block shedding's okay. I'm not feeling it. I'm not a big fan. I really feel like he needs to go to a team that needs a 3-4 defensive tackle and then just let them take over. I don't know. We'll see. But biggest issues for me, we need another stud defensive back. We need another legitimate corner, somebody to pair up with Denzel Ward, have two guys on the outside, shut everybody down, and then have Mitchell and Calhoun or Mitchell and Gaines have somebody be the quote-unquote nickel and dime corners. I think whoever makes it out of those three, Mitchell, Carey, and Gaines, we're probably only going to keep one of them. So whoever, I guess, pans out the best, we'll hold on to, because I'm pretty sure all of their contracts are up. I think these are all guys that we just picked up on one-year deals. So we'll figure out who we want to keep out of them. We'll keep Ward. We'll keep Phillip Gaines, again, as a special teamer. He's fast. He's solid at a little bit of everything. 6 foot, solid size. He's terrible at tackling, which makes him a poor choice on special teams, but he's fast. Again, he's probably going to be our gunner on punts. He's going to help on kickoffs and stuff like that. So we'll hold on to him. I want to pick up another genuine free safety. I might even just take Jermaine Whitehead and slide him over to free safety, but we'll find out, because I think I want to put Calhoun back into a cornerback role, have him be either the nickel or the dime, depending on who stays. I want a new kicker. For the love of God, I don't want Greg Joseph. He can absolutely go away. We'll keep Colquitt. Quarterback situation's fine. I'll probably try and move on from Tyrod. If he re-signs, great. If he doesn't, we'll just let him walk in free agency. I'd prefer to sign and trade, but it's probably not going to happen. Running back is fine. I guess we can keep Hilliard, because we've got the power back in Chubb. We've got the receiving back in Duke Johnson. I don't imagine it would hurt to have a young, developmental, speedy kind of scat back. It's always nice to have. We got to pick up a fullback, whether we take advantage of the cheesy draft and get like an 80 overall fullback in the 7th round, or if we just wait until free agency and sign somebody. I think the receivers are fine. They're just young. They need to develop. Callaway's got to work on his hands. Perriman's got to work on his short game, because at this point, well, I can't even say at this point in his career. His entire career, he's been nothing but just a streak receiver. It's go deep, go up, win the jump ball, and that's it. Higgins, we need to develop a specific skill. He's not great at anything. He's not an elite athlete. He doesn't have elite hands. He's not an elite route runner. He doesn't have elite size. He just kind of does everything. If you need him on, 3rd and 10, he's there. If you want him on a quick slant route, he's there. He's not amazing at anything. Like, You can send Jarvis Landry on a slant or a hook route or a curl or drag or anything like that, and he's going to catch the ball 9 times out of 10. That's just what he does. That's what's expected of him. That's not the case with Higgins. So we got to turn Landry into more of a deep threat, get Callaway's hands better, get Perriman to do something in the short to intermediate game because he just doesn't have it. Ricardo Lewis, I think, is wildly inconsistent. He's also injury prone. I think in 2 seasons we've had him, he's only played a handful of games. We might move on from him. I'm not sure. We've got too much. We have too much depth, if that's such a thing. We have too many receivers. We've got 8 receivers. We're gonna have to cut at least 2 of these guys. Streeter's absolutely gonna go. He might. I mean, real life, he might be dead. He didn't fracture his hip. He broke his fucking neck. Like, he's done. We are going to get rid of him. He's not going to be on the team anymore. He's not going to play for us. He doesn't exist. Don't even look at him. He's not real. He doesn't exist. So it's going to come down to 7 receivers. We're looking at Damian Ratley, who did step up and play really solid football for us because we were down basically to the bottom of the barrel. Callaway wasn't playing because of minor injuries. Landry wasn't playing because of minor injuries. Perriman... I mean, shit. Perriman was a Baltimore Ravens reject as a wide receiver. The Baltimore Ravens haven't had a solid receiver since Steve Smith, like 6 years ago. They have absolutely struggled mightily to get any sort of pass-catching talent on that team, and they got rid of him. Granted, he did struggle severely with injuries. He was a first-round pick that's only played a handful of games, and he's only really worked out with Cleveland because Baker can sling it. Flacco can't. Flacco, when he came into the league, had a good arm and could stretch the field. He just can't do it anymore. I don't know if it's old age or if it's scheme, if it's a Harbaugh curse. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't push the ball down the field, and Cleveland did that towards, the latter stretch of the season, and Perriman was able to shine. He was able to use his big frame and his elite speed and his ability to get the ball at its highest point and take advantage of that. So I don't know. It's a hot mess. After Landry, talent falls off. Callaway's, I think what we were hoping to get with Corey Coleman a couple years back. Coleman obviously did not do anything in Cleveland to prove himself. He went to Buffalo, who's also had wild inconsistencies as a receiver, and he got cut from there. So we're dealing with a pretty ragtag team of receivers here. Granted, we've had a ton of injuries this year. Like I said, Perriman was a late arrival. Lewis is injured. Streeter, is probably done for forever. Derek Willis came in and played like 1 game and got hurt. It's just been a rough stretch. Tight end, we're fine. I know he was really useful for us this season, Darren Fells, but he's old. He's real old. Like, I'm expecting probably 4 or 5 points of overall regression this season. So we're probably going to move on from him. I think we're going to return Orson Charles to the role he had before, where we kind of used him as our de facto fullback. Because, he's good at it. He's a solid fullback. He's not, a great route runner. Doesn't have phenomenal hands or anything like that. But he's a solid enough blocker. He's big enough and he's strong enough. I feel like... Oh, excuse me. I feel like running behind him would be a solid game plan going forward, or we just move on from him because he's not going to make it as a pass catcher. It's just not the thing. He's a very important vocal leader on the team in real life. Him and Baker are real good buddies. They hype each other up. It's a good time. But we might move on from him. We might move on from Fells. We might just keep Njoku, DeValve, and Pharaoh Brown, who, even though he went to Oregon, he's from the Cleveland area. He's a hometown kid. So Charlie Hewlett's on the team just to be the long snapper. That's fine. We can keep him. I don't care. We've gone over the O-line. Everybody's good. We might move on from Chris Smith. I don't know. I mean, call me old school. I'm not a big fan of 6-foot defensive ends. You know what I mean? He's not a Rashard Mathis. It's not gonna buff out, I don't think. But we'll see. We might keep him, we might not. Anthony Zettel was pretty solid for us. He's a nice rotational guy. I think I'm cutting Brian Price. Period. Like, he's not good at anything. He's not fast. He's not strong. He's not a good tackler. He can't beat blocks. You want to give him credit for his power moves? Do that. That's totally fine. I don't care. He is leaving the team. He's bad. He's beyond bad. I don't want him. Gotta find that a linebacker help. We might find that in like the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, something like that. Outside linebacker's good. I mean, DeJuan Hines. Not a big fan. I like Tanner Vallejo. I liked him at Boise State. He's obviously not as good as Leighton Vander Esch, but he was essentially the same player. He's a little undersized, but he's a good tackler. He hits hard. He's athletic enough for the position. I don't know that he's going to cut the mustard at pass defense, but he's young. We can always work that up. And then we need a free safety. So, that all being said, all bases being touched and all that hoopla, I think we're solid on that. We'll stick with the vertical power run scheme just because it's going to help Baker progress. It's going to help Chubb progress. It's going to help all of the skill players shy of Landry. And then the inside core of the offensive line, which is already phenomenal. We don't got to worry about that. The multiple 4-3, however, I like the idea of it because, again, it does give Avery and Collins the opportunity to be those pass rushing outside linebackers, especially with Ogba hanging out on that side, being more of a run stopper, I guess. He's not bad in the pass rushing game. He hasn't panned out. He hasn't been nearly as good as we hoped, but he's really good in the run game. So I think maybe keeping him at home and maybe having like a 5-man pressure every down, maybe coming out. I don't know if we want to run, strictly man coverage because Denzel Ward absolutely shuts anybody he's manned up against down, or if we want to do sort of like a cover 2 zone blitz type sort of scheme, just give a little bit more leeway, maybe like a cover 2 match, cover 3 match type sort of defense. I don't know. I think we've got a lot of versatility on the defensive side of the ball. Everybody can kind of do a little bit of everything. Myles Garrett's an absolute phenomenon at defensive end. He's 23, 22. He'll be 23, and he's absolutely a bona fide stud at defensive end. He had double-digit sacks being, double and triple teamed every down. I mean, he's no Aaron Donald, but nobody's Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is the second coming of like Reggie White. Like he's doing stuff that we've never seen on an NFL field before. We'll take the production we're getting out of Myles Garrett. He's also a physical freak. Like there were receivers he ran faster than, he had better verticals than. There were offensive linemen he outbenched. Like he is the cornerstone of the team. We're gonna build around him. He's gonna be absolutely paramount to our success. I think we're good. I think having Ogunjobi as a power rusher instead of a speed rusher is fine. Trevin Coley's a nice backup defensive tackle. I don't like his lack of finesse moves and the fact that his awareness is low, but awareness is always the easiest thing to upgrade for any position. It's just the more they play, the more they learn. It's a very simple thing. It's basically anytime you pick any of the archetype level ups, they're gonna get a boost to awareness or play rec or both. So maybe we sit on him, maybe we hold that together. I know Carl Davis was injured. I think we move on from him, we move on from Price. I think we draft ourselves a first round corner, bona fide stud at cornerback. Second round we take either a right tackle or a defensive tackle, maybe a free safety. and then we just go from there. So that's what we're going to roll into. We're going to roll into the offseason. They're going to give us a little bit of time to scout. We'll negotiate with some people. Yeah, we signed everybody in the practice squad. That happens every season. But we'll see who wants to stay, who doesn't. Calhoun, we want him. We want him to stay, whether it's as a backup free safety role, if we're going to bring him in as a nickel corner, dime corner. Doesn't matter. We want him to stay. He wants 7.11 over 3 years. I think we can handle that. They're offering... Well, I think they're offering the right amount. Yeah, 2.82 signing bonus. That's roughly what he's getting. So just because I'm OCD, we'll up it just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's perfect. He wants to stay. We're not going to give Tyrod Taylor a multi-year deal. It's not going to happen. I'm going to try and sign him for 1 year. We'll give him a pay raise. We'll give him $9 million and a $3.6 million signing bonus. That's a $12.5 million sign. Hopefully he takes. If he doesn't, fine. We'll let him walk. It's totally okay. He's going to walk. That's fine. We don't need him. Carl Davis will do the same thing. I'll offer him a 1 year deal. If he stays, he stays. If he doesn't, all right, he walks. That's cool. We weren't really keen on sticking with him either. Greg Joseph can go. He can go. I don't want him. I don't even want to offer him a contract. I'm over it. I don't want anything to do with him. And this EJ Gaines signing. So, if we let Gaines walk, we still have Carey and Mitchell, which I think we're going to do. Gaines was the oldest of the bunch. He's got the best pure coverage stats, but I think we're going to let him go. And I think we're going to let Justin Burris go. You know what? I think we let all of them walk. I think we'll let Phillip Gaines and EJ Gaines. I think we're going to let them all go. Because even though Phillip Gaines is fast, we can probably find somebody better late rounds in the draft to cover that, you know, special teams gunner sort of role. We wanted Calhoun. We got him back. Jermaine Whitehead, we'll let him go. We don't really need him. Nobody at nobody at punters leaving. Strong safety's fine. Right outside linebacker, we're going to lose DeJuan Hines. I'm not all that pressed about it. He can go. I'm not really all that pressed about either of these two guys leaving either. None of them are really anything spectacular. So if they want to go, they can go. That's totally fine. Left outside linebackers locked up. Carl Davis has decided not to sign with us. I am not at all interested in Brian Price. He can leave. That's totally fine. I will go after Trevin Coley. I think he is a solid backup defensive tackle. He's still young enough. I think he's going to progress. He's going to get better. He wants, what, a 2-year deal? He wants $1.5 million with a $1.4 million signing bonus over 2 years. I can do that. I'd rather sign him a little longer. We'll get him an even $12 or even $12 million signing bonus. We'll give him as much as he wants for 4 years, and he's going to stay. Beautiful. All right, so let's go back to Joseph and get him out of here. Not interested. You can go. Absolutely leave. Our defensive linemen are staying. Earl Watford wants to leave. I don't know if I want to re-sign him because he's a halfway decent backup guard. He's not going to hurt himself. He's not going to do poorly. I just don't know if... I mean, when the season rolls around, he's going to be 30 years old. I don't know if a 30-year-old right guard is really anybody that we want to keep on the roster, especially with the fact that Zeitler is aging and that he's going to start to regress soon. I think we let Watford go. Maybe we offer him just a cheap 1-year deal. Maybe we can flip him to somebody who's in desperate need for a right guard. I think that's what we'll do. I'll give him a 1-year deal. We'll give him a $2 million total. There we go. He's going to walk. That's fine. Again, he was aging. We don't really need him. He can go. No, neither of our centers are leaving. Kyle Kalis is a solid option. He's not terrible. He's young. He's physically gifted. He's just not really skilled. Like, I mean, if he ended up coming into the game and we ran him on, like, 2 run plays, that'd be swell. But he's not really going to do much else. We'll do the same with him. He's not asking for much. He wants $1 million over 1 year. I'm okay with bringing him on for a 1-year contract. That's cool. He can be our backup right guard. We'll put him behind Zeitler. That's great. Greg Robinson has to come back. Absolutely, positively needs to come back. He is our starting left tackle this year. I don't care if he's already 26. I don't care if he's only got normal development. That's our starting left tackle. He's coming back to the team. I'm going to give him what he wants. He wants 7.89 over 3 years. That's fine. Actually, I'm going to lock him up for 4 years. We're going to give him a little bit more money. I'm going to give him $17 million over a 4-year contract. Perfect. That's exactly what we needed. At tight end, I want to bring back Pharaoh Brown. I like him. He's a local kid. He's young. He's going to develop. He's fast enough. He's okay in the run game. He'll be all right. He's going to be our number 3 option. And Joku's obviously the starter. DeValve's going to be a solid number 2. I like Pharaoh Brown. So I'll bring him back. I don't know that I want to give him that much, but I will. I'll give him a little more. We'll give him 14.2 over 4 seasons. Orson Charles I like, but he's aging. I don't want him for 2 years. I'm only going to want him on a 1-year deal. And I don't want him for that much money. So he's probably not going to take it. We'll see. Nobody's going to sign him. He's a very poorly rated defensive or tight end. We don't need him. Streeter can go. I'm over it. Rashad Perriman. I like him. I've always liked him. I've liked him since his rookie year when he came out. He was somebody that I always like to pick up and put on the squad. He is, hands down, other than Tyreek Hill, the best deep threat in the game. He's a big body. He's insanely fast. He can go up and get it. He's got good release. He beats the press well. He is a good deep threat receiver. I feel like if we just work him, obviously he's not built to be a slot receiver. I think if we just keep working towards that archetype, it'll help him with his short route running, his medium route running. It'll help him with his hands. He'll be a great receiver to have. He's that big body outside guy we need. We don't have anybody like that on the team. Landry's a phenomenal receiver, and he can win outside, but Landry is he's probably the best slot receiver in the game. Put him on the same level as Edelman. Edelman's phenomenal, but we won't touch on that. I think that basically everybody on the Patriots is 100% a product of their system. Bill Belichick is the greatest football mind maybe we've ever seen. Tom Landry was great. He invented the 4-3 defense. Whatever, that's fine. We'll touch on that later. I don't want to start any fights about my wild distaste for Tom Brady and the Patriots. I want Perriman until he slows down. So I want him. I'm going to take him on a 5-year deal, and we're going to offer him the money. I think he's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I want him. Same thing with Higgins. I'm going to lock him up till he turns 30. We'll see how well he does. We'll offer him a little bit more mustard than he's asking for. Perfect. Our receiver core is locked up. We don't have a fullback. If Dontrell Hilliard leaves, Dontrell Hilliard leaves. That's fine. We'll pick him up in the free agency period. If not, oh well, we'll sign somebody else. I'm going to offer him league minimum type money. I'll give you $100K. Yeah, I'm going to give you league minimum. Yeah, you don't like it? That's fine. Leave. That's totally okay with me. Tyrod's going to leave. Now, we could franchise tag him and then trade him. I think that's what we might do because he He absolutely is going to fetch us the biggest return on investment. I'll offer Gaines a contract. I'll give you 2 years, $1.5 million. I don't think you're worth more than that. If you don't like it, walk. That's fine. I think we're going to franchise tag him and then trade him off to somebody who's desperate. We'll give him to the I don't know, the Jaguars or the Dolphins. Somebody that, like, absolutely positively needs themselves a quarterback. And we'll get a good return for him. All right, Philip Gaines, we'll offer him a quick contract. We'll do 1.1 mil, I guess. I want it to sit at 1.5 mil. That's perfect. That's what I'll offer you. You don't want it? Don't take it. Walk. That's fine. Justin Burris, we're going to offer you the same thing. I'm actually going to offer you a league minimum contract. I don't think you're worth any more than that. I'll give you a $100K signing bonus. You don't want it? Walk. That's fine. That's by all means. Get out. Both of these guys are asking for too much. They're not worth it. They're too old. They're not skilled enough. I'll offer Woodson Luster a contract, but I'm going to offer him a little less. We'll do 750, 150. I'll offer you 900K. That's fine. And DeJuan Hines can go. All right, that's cool. Picked up everybody that I really wanted to pick up. All our practice squad players are signed. Let's just okay those real quick so that we don't have to worry about them clogging up our menu. And once they're all gone, we're good. Freddie Kitchens has 500 experience. What does he have to spend on? Is there anything that cheap? I doubt it. Yeah, I didn't think so. He does have that increased player weekly goal experience, though, which is going to be really nice. He's going to help the team develop. It's a young team. It's going to be wildly beneficial to us. So we'll skip ahead, do some free agent signings, see what we find. Is there a lockdown corner available? Jason Barrett's available, but he's 28 and has missed probably half of his career with injuries. Is that somebody we want to risk giving a big contract to? I don't. It's already a risk having Perriman on the team being a big injury risk. I think Verrett is a phenomenal corner. I think he's a top 10, maybe even a top 5 corner when he's healthy. His biggest issue is he can't stay healthy. So I think we're gonna walk away from that. We're gonna let him do his own thing. He's gonna go to Miami probably because it looks like that's who offered him the most money. He can go play for the Dolphins and get hurt. That's fine. Miami likes to overspend on their free agents anyways. Have at it. We'll let him do that. We don't need another quarterback. Mayfield's the GOAT. He's going to take us to the promised land. Clearly, we franchise tag Tyrod Taylor. We'll probably trade him away. And then we still have Stanton backing us up. I don't really see the need for signing somebody else. I mean, we can always bring in McCarron, which is what we wanted to happen in real life. He's going to be a career backup player. Nick Mullins, I feel, deserves a starting job somewhere. I don't want to take that away from him. We're not going to touch Glennon. Hundley has failed miserably, so is Simeon. Kelly's a head case. There's not a chance in hell Brian Hoyer comes back. Gabbert's trash. I feel like we can just let all these guys go. Davis Webb I like, but I'm good. We can always bring back Kevin Hogan for his 8th stint with the team. But again, not a big fan. Sudfeld. Sudfeld is your prototypical quarterback. He's 6'6", he's athletic, he's got a big arm, but my God, has he been terrible in any game time he's had. JT Barrett might be fun. I'll bring in another, Ohio State kid in. I'm sure that would make Denzel Ward incredibly happy, having the two of them together. I don't know, maybe we just see who's available late in the draft. Joe Callahan did come in and play very admirably for the Packers when Rodgers was hurt. Hackenberg's in the AAF. We're not going to touch him. Yeah, I think we just... Logan Woodside's also in the AAF. Dude it up. So is Berkovici. He got pulled, though. I don't know. I think we just kind of sit on what we've got. If I like a 6th or a 7th round developmental quarterback, we'll take him. I think we're good. I think we're going to take the same path with the running backs. See who's available late in the draft. Find a nice athletic guy who's not really going to get a lot of play because he's, you know, oh, well, he's not elusive enough, or he doesn't carry the ball well, or whatever. Just, I think we're fine on that. I've always loved Orleans Darkwa. He's everything I've ever wanted in a halfback. He's a downhill runner with breakaway speed. He's beautiful. But he's 26. He's not going to get any playing time. Unless he's going to... We could save a roster spot and just get ourselves a nice utility fullback. Or find a running back that's got a solid enough blocking game to be able to play fullback for us. That's interesting. That is a really interesting take on it. You know, pick up a guy like a Mike Tolbert. I feel like Bo Scarborough would be a great fullback in the NFL. He's absolutely built for it. He can get you the short yardage. I don't know. I know Trey Edmonds has played fullback. But, you know, you very rarely have a 90-speed fullback. I think that's his biggest issue. I don't know. I don't know what we do with this. I mean, there's a lot of guys that could fall into that sort of role. That's that hybrid fullback, running back role. I can't believe they've got Taysom Hill listed as a running back. That guy's a quarterback, and you know it. Matt Days was a horrible, horrible flop in the draft. I don't think we could have wasted our pick on a worse player. He didn't contribute in the slightest for us. I mean, Sherman's a really solid fullback, but he's getting old. Same with Olawale. I feel like Elijah Penny was decent. Danny Vitale was great, but he got hurt. You cut a guy for getting hurt. You don't bring him back on the team. I like Tommy Bohannon. I think we might sign him right now and keep turning him into a blocking fullback, because he's one of the best running fullbacks in the game. He really is. He's a bowling ball. He is your short yardage type fullback. I think I'm going to sign Tommy Bohannon. He can be kind of our third string running back / starting fullback. I think that's what we'll do. So I think I'll offer him exactly what he's looking for. It's a very minimal contract. Sign him for 2 years. Great. If somebody comes and steals him, darn, they steal him. Other than that, we're good. Travis Benjamin won't come back. He'd probably be the only player I'd consider bringing back. John Brown's too one-dimensional. I really like Robbie Anderson. I have for a while. But I don't know if I can morally... I don't know if I can relegate myself to the level of signing a former New York Jet. Because back in the Mangini era, that's all we did. We took all of their rejects. Everybody they didn't want came and played for us. And it paid off sometimes, but man... When you've got Jets rejects playing as your first and second string players, that's... I mean, I know I'm a Browns fan, and we're notorious for being bad, but the Jets are right there with us, man. They had Mark Sanchez as a starting quarterback for, 4 years? I don't know. I like him. He's big body. He's very athletic. He's good down the field. I think he's a really highly rated player. I like him. I enjoy him. But we've got our own receivers that we're going to deal with. We don't need another tight end. We've got our guys. Everybody's good. Left tackle's locked up. Roger Saffold might be the best run-blocking guard in the game, but we don't need him. I've always liked Kyle Friend as a backup, but we might move on from him. Nah, fuck it, we'll keep him. We'll see how everybody buffs out in preseason. See who plays well, who gets hurt, what everything kind of turns into. Eldrin Camp is there. It's definitely there. Saragoose is solid, but I feel like he's going to eat up. I don't know that we're going to be big players in free agency, to be perfectly honest with you, because we're pretty set at every position. We've got depth at the defensive end positions. We've got ourselves some solid defensive tackles. Danny Shelton's not coming back. Again, you trade a guy away for what, a 5th round pick? You don't re-sign that guy. He's gone. There's Carl Davis again. Marcus Hunt is a great story, but I don't know that we want him on the team. Darius Philon's a good pass rushing defensive tackle. I just think we're gonna sit back and we're gonna let everything play out. We don't really need any of these guys. Ziggy Ansah would be great, but I think we stick with who we got. I think we've got a nice, solid young core. I know that's boring. That's really boring of me to come out and say we're not going to sign anybody, but I think that's what it's going to be. I think we're just going to sit back on what we've got. We're a 4-3 defense. I don't need extra linebackers anywhere. I mean, Mark Barron is a great utility player. He used to play safety at Bama. Now he's a linebacker. He can kind of do it all. But we don't have much cap room. All right, I think we're just going to stick with what we've got. If anybody crazy jumps out at me at the last second, maybe I'll make a play on it. Darby's solid. Bryce Callahan was a nickel corner. That's what he is. I don't care that he's rated 82 overall. He's a nickel corner. That's it. He's never going to make it as an outside guy. He's not big enough. It just isn't going to pan out. I feel like Darby was a flash in the pan. Hilton's another slot guy. I mean, Pierre Desir played for us once. I just don't see him panning out well. Bradley Roby, same thing. They tried to move him to the outside in Denver, and it didn't work. He's a slot corner. He is what he is. I mean, he's a damn good slot corner, but he's not going to be able to do much else outside of that. Darryl Roberts is a speed freak, but he's getting old. Coleman's all right. I don't like Josh Norman. I never have. That's fine. So we need another free safety because I do fully intend on moving Calhoun to corner. But I think we're just going to draft somebody. I mean, TJ Green's a nice athletic build, but I think we're just gonna draft our guys. Is there a good kicker available that I can pick up? Will Lutz. Yeah, Will Lutz is pretty good. Gostkowski's about as automatic as it gets. Jake Elliott made it to free agency. That's kind of crazy. Hauschka, Bullock. Bullock used to play for us. Kaimi Fairburn. If Giorgio Tavecchio was a right-footed kicker, he might be my favorite kicker in the league. Just based on name alone. Like, guy's a beast. No way Vinatieri joins us. I wouldn't hate that signing in real life. I hate Vinatieri. I was a Rams fan back in 03 when the Patriots dynasty got started, and then I was a Panthers fan 2 years later because it was the Browns, and the Browns were bad. But if we signed him, I might forgive him, but I can't stand him. I don't know. I think what we'll do is we'll see where we fall in the draft so far as kickers go. If I can pick up a guy in the 7th round, swell. If not, I'll probably just take whoever's left over in free agency. But I like Tommy Bohannon. I'll try and sign him. If he doesn't join us, then he doesn't join us. That's fine. We're just going to have a really calm free agency period. Bohannon accepted. That's absolutely fantastic. I'm totally okay with that. We're going to keep him as our starting fullback. I like it. We're going to do some scouting. I can go ahead and I can pull the 4 draft classes that I have saved. I don't feel like doing it. It just... I don't feel as though a lot of legitimate care was gone into them. Like, I'm sure they put hundreds of hours into it. I'm just not happy with it, and I'll be perfectly honest, I'm too lazy to go in and do it myself. So I'm not going to. Holy... Mike Blackwell is considered a slot corner. Easily the most athletic corner in the group. Man coverage and press are great. See, I don't think he's going to pan out as an outside guy. Ryan Krul might be good. Pretty solid combine. He's a good pass protector. He's going to have 80s and everything. Braylon Butler might be okay, but he's, again, considered to be a slot receiver. Not a very big body. He's going to be more of an underneath guy. We need that big-bodied outside guy. Seth Easy looks solid. DJ Hurd looks solid. Lawrence Hubbard might be who we go with. 6 foot, runs a 4.5, means he's going to have about 89, 90 speed. Good vert. Well, okay vert. He's agile. He's 23. He's got good zone and man, though, but he's 23. Same with Abraham Pope. 21. Oh my God. He had the best in everything except his 40. So he's going to be the strongest, the quickest. He's going to have the best vert. He's going to have the best acceleration. But he's not elite fast. He's absolutely a prototype slot corner. Shit. I don't know if we can be okay with that. Barry Greenwood's probably going to be our first round pick, if we're being perfectly honest. I think we draft him. Oh man, 40 reps? That's insane. He's going to have like 95 strength. He's great at everything. He's absolutely a power lineman. We can coach up his pass blocking so that he fits the scheme, but that's ideal. I think Barry Greenwood ends up being our first overall pick. And then we go from there. Because all these corners are they're slot guys. I don't need a slot corner. I need this kid. I need Jacoby Landolt. I need a 5'11's big enough. But man, is he slow. Can I really not get better speed? Yeah, you're a slot guy. You're an athletic. Well, let's scout him. Let's see what he looks like. That's why he's a slot guy, because his coverage is trash. Great. So he's an athletic freak. Crazy fast. Great acceleration. Great jump. He's strong, too. He's just not talented. He's a Raiders pick. He's a big body, good athlete. Not very skilled. How nuts would that be if we had a Michigan corner playing across from a Ohio State corner? He's got the coverage numbers. He's got high 70s in coverage. Oh, man, that's rough. Santario Gaylor. Good zone. Good press. Man is solid. Who'd have thought it'd be tough to find a lockdown corner? What about you, Lawrence Hubbard? Good zone, good man. You're not very fast, but you're not slow. You're 23. He might pan out. He doesn't have a great vert, but he's 6 foot, so it's not really going to bite him in the ass. He's got good agility, but his acceleration's not going to be great because of his broad jump. Who cares if he's strong? I don't know. I like Hubbard. We might pick him up. McMillan's great, but he's so slow. He's so slow. What is that, 4.61? I mean, 4.58 puts you at 22nd. 4.5. That's always one of the biggest issues with the Madden drafts, is that speed is just non-existent for whatever reason. Maybe we take Sean Crichton. He's decent. 5'11", so he's ideal size. Good speed, good acceleration. He's better in zone than he is in man, which is okay. He's part of our scheme. Rod Sermon's too old. I don't want to draft a 24-year-old rookie. Sorry. It's Kobe Landolt is okay. Never mind. Ouch. Daniel Curtis, you're a slot guy, but you're fast and you're tall. It's rough. This corner class is looking rough, man. I don't know about it. It's not looking too hot. Maybe we look for somebody on the trade market. I mean, Mike Hilton's still available, but he's so little. McCourty's not coming back. No. Again, you trade a guy like that, you don't bring him back. Pierre Desir cannot handle man coverage. It's just not his thing. It's never been his thing. He is a nickel corner, or if you're gonna play him outside, he's gonna sit back in zone. That's his thing. That's always been his thing. Again, Bradley Roby's a slot guy. I'm not taking a Bengals reject. Absolutely not. All right. We're probably just going to have to stick with what we got. I do like Bobby McCain. He's solid. All right. Yeah, no, we're just going to move on. I think we're just going to go straight to the draft. We'll pick from one of those corners we've got. That right tackle, I'm pretty sure, is going to be our first guy. I know that we needed another lineman. We needed some linebackers. Pursuit's good. Shedding's good. Okay, so if tackling's not one of the top three, for the most part, you don't want him. Craig Nixon's solid. And then there's a big fall off. So hit power. Ouch. That's rough. That's bad. You don't want that. All of these middle linebackers have been scouted for us. That's lovely. All the way through the 5th round. Shit, all the way through the... We've scouted all middle linebackers. That's amazing. All right, fuck yeah. We haven't touched the outside guys. So Wyatt Bartu is a 6'3" pass rushing outside linebacker from Kent State. Now I absolutely have a preference for hometown guys, but I don't think we're going to take Wyatt Bartu. He's not that fast. He's not that strong. He's very agile. He might pan out in coverage, but I don't think I can take it. Simmons looks like every NFL scout's wet dream. He's big-bodied, he's strong, he's quick. Doesn't have great top-end speed. He looks pretty solid. I might take him. Same with Ronquise Chavis. He looks pretty good, too. But I'd rather have Simmons. He's a year younger. All right, I think that's what we're going to sit with. I don't know if we get another week to scout players or if this... All right, so it's our last week to scout players. So what we're looking at, first round, we got to hope he's there. I think it was Barry Greenwood we wanted to take. Because Cruel is good. He's got the 32 Bs across the board at 23. He's got 35 reps, solid everything, B+, Bs across the board. But Greenwood is #1 on reps, #1 on Excel, Bs across the board, 22 years old. I think he's our first round pick. And I think we take Keith McMillan, even though he runs a 4.61. Man, that's rough. That's really rough. Maybe we don't. Maybe we hold off and we take Crichton, I think is who I wanted to take. Sean Crichton. Yeah. Yeah, he's the one I wanted. So we'll take him 3rd round. And then 2nd round we were looking at, I think, an outside linebacker. Not Marquise Heron. Who was it? Who was I looking at? Because we don't need any of these tackles. We're going to take that right tackle. Left tackle, we're fine. We've got Robinson for now, Harrison for the future. I don't really want to take another receiver. I like the guys we've got. I think they've all got potential to develop into some really solid players. I don't really want to take a defensive tackle. We're set at tight end. Maybe a guard? Maybe a nice backup guard? I mean, do that Braylon Boyd. He's pretty solid. He's a decent blocker. We might take Braylon Boyd 2nd round. We might also take Craig Nixon from Kansas State. It's pretty solid all around except for his straight line speed. He's a nice run stopper. He's going to have low 70s, though, for his tackling and whatnot. Wyatt Bartu, not a chance. LaMarcus Levy. Pretty mediocre. Jamal Cochran. Pretty mediocre. He's got good straight line speed, though. Definitely a coverage guy. I don't know, man. These guys aren't looking all that promising. Matt Curry looks good. I dig Matt Curry. I think we'll take him. He's fucking slow, though. He is absolutely not going to be a pass coverage sort of guy. Maybe we don't take him. Maybe we let him walk. I don't know, man. This is looking rough. Everybody I like is insanely slow, and defense speed is super important. Will Ladler, defensive tackle. He's pretty strong, but he's pretty slow. Bakari Price. Good speed, good coverage, tackling and pursuit are good enough. We might take Bakari Price. I like him. I like Price. Don't need another strong safety. Ooh, that's right. We do need a free safety. All these guys are first-round talents. Ooh, I don't know what to do. Get ourselves a good zone strong safety and switch him over. Like Deambro Hubbard, who's fast. He's got good coverage, good pursuit. I don't know, does play rec and awareness ever show up on this? I feel like I've never seen play recognition or awareness. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. There's play rec. So he's just dumb. He's a good coverage safety, but he's just stupid. But he's athletically gifted. I don't know if I want to reach on him in the 2nd round. And I really like Keith McMillan on coverage stats alone. But that 4.61 is rough. I'm definitely leaning more towards Crichton. But then I still don't know what I'm doing for a 2nd round pick. Unless I reach on one of these guys, because he's a mid-3rd rounder. He's a late 3rd rounder. Maybe I reach on Crichton. I'll take Greenwood 1st overall. I'll reach on Crichton. I'll take Price in the 3rd. And then I need a 4th round pick. I mean, odds are none of this is going to go my way. None of this is going to fall to me the way I want it to fall to me, and I'm going to be completely SOL on all this. But with what we're looking at, we're getting a tackle, we're getting a safety, and we're getting a linebacker. Or we're getting a corner and a linebacker. So I need like an offensive lineman. Rashawn Tam. He runs a 4.4. Jeez, he's quick. Holy cow. That's a quick dude. He'd fit the scheme, but I really don't need... I don't need another wide receiver. Roman Sanders, he's young. And he's terrible athletically. Typically, anytime you see hit power is their biggest thing, you want to avoid him. He looks solid, but I'm good. We'll look at Hanson Goodley. He's got good pass block finesse, even though he's weak. And then we'll check out Taz Fowler. Again, he's got hit power as his first rating, so you typically want to avoid that stuff. All right, we'll see what we get. I do believe we're going to the draft. Free agency recap. Who all signed where. And who all is still left. So Ajayi went to the Raiders. Makes sense. Tate went to the Cardinals. Also makes sense. Verrett to the Dolphins. Again, makes sense. Don't know how I feel about the Tevin Coleman signing. Darby's a big sign. Anderson to the Bills makes a ton of sense. Overpaying for Wilkerson makes a ton of sense. They brought back Clinton Dix because God knows they needed to. I don't know that they needed another defensive end on that line, but okay. Old Man Suggs is going to the Panthers to replace Old Man Davis. Okay. He's going to play third string running back for the Bears. Nickel corner to the Bengals makes sense. Another corner to the Jets makes sense. Getting somebody to put across from Aaron Donald, that's a good play. I don't know how I feel about that. That makes sense. I don't know how I feel about Gronkowski to the Steelers. I'd have much preferred them to stick with what's his face. That kind of sucks. What are the Bears doing? Why do the Bears have like 5 running backs? I don't understand. Hilton makes sense to them. KJ Wright to play opposite Darius Leonard makes that linebacker core very scary. Yep. Old man goes to the Raiders. Ton of sense. Jets re-sign Anderson. Funches to the Chiefs to give them a big-bodied receiver. Makes sense. I don't know that I put Alex Okafor opposite Mack. I don't know if I consider him a 3-4, but whatever. Overpaying. All right. So the Dolphins secondary or defense is basically all free agents. Pierre Desir, all right, that does make a ton of sense in a 3-4 scheme. You're going to be running a lot of zone. That makes sense. No shit. The Seahawks picked up an offensive lineman. What do you know about that? Golden Tate left, so they bring in Adam Humphries to be their new slot guy. That makes sense. Cole Beasley replaces Anderson? That doesn't make sense. Beasley's absolutely a slot guy. I don't know. Okay, that's fine. Hyde goes to the Falcons. That's a good pick. He replaces Coleman. Chris Long goes to the Titans. I don't know how I feel about that. Well, he was a Patriot, so that makes sense that they'd snatch him up. Cowboys finally get a tight end. Overrated. Man. Raiders are killing it. Patriots pick up an athletic defensive back. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me. John Brown goes back to the Cardinals. Juwan James goes to the Dolphins. I feel like he was already on the Dolphins. I feel like they just resigned him. LaShawn McCoy goes back to Philly. Wow. He's hopping on that title train, I guess. Deep threat for Cam. Useless running back for a useless offense. Lutz goes back to them. Anybody else interesting? Des Bryant goes to the Bills. That's pretty interesting. Oh, shit. They're getting rid of Sue. And Ndamukong Sue's gone. They're bringing in Danny Shelton to be that nose tackle. I don't hate that. Danny Shelton, I feel, is a really good nose tackle. He didn't get a fair shake in Cleveland. We were on a 4-3. You can't put a nose tackle in a 4-3. It doesn't work. Ziggy Ansah, another overrated, overpaid. Oh, man. What are they doing? Jesse James, that's a good tight end. He's going to take over for, God, you know, I can't even remember his name. Jermaine Gresham. Jack Rabbit goes to Atlanta. Does that mean they got rid of Trufant? Another receiver to help out. Andrew Luck makes sense. Good hands. Another zone corner for Buffalo. Again, makes sense. Old man Crosby. Wait a minute. The Saints? Why did the Saints sign 2 kickers? Alright, I'm done looking at this. It's going to make my brain explode. Let's jump into the draft. See what we get.
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
Alright, Cardinals are on the clock. I don't see any need for us to jump up, so we're just going to skip right ahead to our pick, which is 17th. Let's see if our right tackle is still on the board. And he is. Barry Greenwood is, in fact, still on the board. I think that's who we're going to take. Because we don't need a quarterback. We don't need another center. Defensive tackle, maybe. But, no, we're going to take our boy Barry Greenwood. Absolutely. 22 years old. That body. 6'7", basically 340. He's a monster. We're going to take him. Absolutely. 80 overall, quick development. That's fantastic. 92 strength. Holy shit. We just got to train up his agility. That run block finesse is brutal. Absolutely brutal.
The Titans are now on the clock.
So training up his agility will also help, like with his pass block finesse. We'll get him up there. He'll be a solid all-around right tackle. That's beautiful. I couldn't ask for a better right tackle. Shit, he's going to replace Hubbard. We can trade Hubbard away. That's fantastic. There's no need to sit on him. All right, second round. Hopefully that middle linebacker is still available. Or no, that's right. We weren't going to take the middle linebacker. We were going to take the corner, who is still available. He was a third-round pick. He was a mid-third round. I think we're going to reach on him. Just because he's big enough. He's got the speed. He's got the quickness. He might not be a great one-on-one man coverage corner, but he's got good zone coverage. We reached. All right. All right. I can take that L. That's cool. He's got 90 speed, which is what we were looking for. 83 zone coverage is really solid. He's a solid tackler. He'll be all right going forward. Probably could have taken somebody better, but like one of these first-round quarterbacks, Jesus. Shit, even Martinez Strong would have been solid. Good coverage. He'd have been he probably would have been the ideal pick. Put him at free safety. Oh well, you live and you learn. It's not as if we got a bad player. He's still solid. We'll see if that middle linebacker is available because I do like him.
The Browns are now on the clock.
We'll see what we get. He is not on the board. So that leaves us with Martinez Strong, who I did like. He's got good zone coverage, good pursuit. He's athletically talented. He's a good coverage corner, or safety. We can just scoot him over to free safety. He'll fit in the scheme, no problem. don't want another receiver. Marquise Heron doesn't look terrible, but I definitely am not going to pick him up with a 3rd round pick. Sellers looks eh. Kioris McCarty looks eh. It's big body, athletically talented, not good coverage at all. His coverage looks terrible. I mean, he's going to be 70s. It looks bad. All right, I think we're gonna reach on Martinez Strong because he does have the athleticism and he looks talented. We'll just slide him over to free safety. We reached. Yeah, that's cool. He's 21. No, he's not going to be a good strong safety. He can't tackle, but I think he will be a really good free safety. I think we take him and we slide him over and we'll be all right. I genuinely have no idea who we're going to take with this 4th round pick. Outside linebacker, inside linebacker.
Browns are now on the clock.
3rd round, pick 30. I'm not going to take a running back in the 3rd round, even though he looks nice. He's young. He's quick. He's solid in space. I don't think that's what we're going to go for. Kioris McCourty looks... Again, so far as a size and physical talent aspect goes, he looks nice. I just don't know that I can take him. And then Roman Sanders, I mean, if his biggest... He's the least athletic linebacker I've ever seen. But if all he's got to boast about is his hit power, that's not really anybody I want on the team. And then same with Taz Fowler. If all you're looking at is hit power, why bother? Perry Offord is a finesse. Big, I don't know. He's quick as shit for a defensive tackle. He's strong enough. I say we reach. Let's reach for Perry Offord.
Jaguars are now on the clock.
Yeah, I know we reached. I just said we were going to reach, but he looks decent. 71. Still only 23. We'll stick with it. Let's see what we get next.
The Browns are now on the clock.
Oh, is Walker Bryant the guy I was just looking at for a 4th round pick? Ben Gaither doesn't look terrible. Not for a 4th round corner. He's good athletically. He's got solid coverage numbers. Alani Culpepper. Yeah, I feel like that linebacker is in fact the guy I was just looking at. Shaden Cook, 6'1", deep threat. He's pretty fast. It's pretty quick. It's a pretty solid looking prospect. But so is Tam. I don't know, man. None of these guys are really... Ben Gaither looks decent. He's got solid athletic numbers. He's going to be low 70s and cut. I'll take Ben Gaither.
The Vikings are
That's
now
fine. I reached by 5 spots. He's about what I expected him to be. He looks decent. I might trade away my later picks though. Nobody's really looking special, if that's what you want to call it. I don't know. We've got a ton of picks. I mean, I guess that is... I keep hitting the wrong button.
The Titans are now on the
Everybody I've spoken to or heard speak about the draft or all the numbers behind it aren't necessarily, well, what's the highest ranked pick you can get? It's more about how many picks you get, because even the best, absolute knockdown, best scouts and best, football operations guys only hit on like 50 to 60% of their picks. So having a dozen first-round picks doesn't really do all that much for you. It's more of... It's honestly more a numbers game than anything. So none of these guys look like they're of any value. Fantastic. Timothy McKay looks solid. But even then, he doesn't look great. He's terribly unathletic. He's listed as a power rusher. Taz Fowler doesn't look great. You know what? I can get a fucking... If I can get what's considered a second-round running back in the 5th round, he's athletic. He's good on holding onto the ball. I'm going to take him.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock.
He was scouted as a 4th-round pick. We took him in the 5th round. That's fine. I'm perfectly okay with that. He's fast enough. He's got 80-plus carrying. He's good in the return. So worst case scenario, we spent a 5th-round pick on a return man. That's fine. That's totally fine. I still absolutely need a kicker. 100% need a kicker. Chandler Halsey is projected to go in the 4th round. Oh, shit. Well, so we need a middle linebacker. We probably need 2 middle linebackers. All right, so let's see who's available. Because Sanders doesn't look like he's going to cut it. His tackling's not good. Neither is McKay. So what does middle linebacker look like? Everybody else is undrafted. Some of these guys don't look atrocious. Hanson Zolman looks okay. See, he's got high 70s tackle, high 70s hit power, high 70s pursuit. He's pretty quick. I mean, Washington and Mines both have solid tackling numbers. I think I'm going to take that kicker. Even though I haven't scouted him in the slightest, anytime a kicker's supposed to go 4th round, it's probably going to be solid. So I'm going to take him 5th round.
The Broncos are now
And we nailed it. Oh, he was 15th ranked. Holy crap. 97 kick power. That's absolutely beautiful. Well, guess who's our starting kicker for the foreseeable future? It's going to be Chandler Halsey, I think. Yeah, Chandler Halsey.
the Browns
I think I'm
are
gonna
now on the clock.
I think I'm gonna trade this pick away. I don't really see anybody that I give any shits about. I'm not taking Roman Sanders. He's not good. He's unathletic. He can't tackle. All he's good for is hitting people. I don't want him. Leighton Harrison looks terrible. Freddie Horn looks terrible. Plus he's old. Vincent Smith also looks terrible. None of these guys are good. Nobody's got a high top skill ranking on anything. Nobody's sitting at a B or higher unless it's like hit power. So we're just gonna let it go. And we'll trade away the pick. We'll see what we get. I'm kind of looking to move back into the 7th round of this draft. Nobody's offering me 2 picks. So we've got, I know I saw a 4th round pick back there. So we've got a 4th round pick next year from Seattle. Well, that's obviously going to be the best.
This pick is trading teams.
Yeah, we traded picks. All right, so we'll advance to our next pick.
The Browns are now on the clock.
I'll take a look again. I sincerely doubt. Oh, holy shit, how did I not see Matt Lott? 6'4", 240 wide receiver. He runs a 4.7. I'm going to take him.
The Vikings.
I know I didn't want to add a receiver. That guy's a mountain. Can he run block at all? He can. That's this. Matt Lott's going to play tight end. Holy shit. Are you kidding me?
The Ravens are now on the
A 6'4", 240-pound receiver out of Liberty. Yeah, buddy, you can absolutely come play tight end for me. Holy shit, I'm sorry, Pharaoh Brown. You're going to have to sit on the practice squad. That guy's a steal. And this is going to take us, what, to the 7th?
The Browns.
7th of 7. My next pick is in the 20th. right? I've got a 7th and a 20th. I'm going to take 2 middle linebackers, but I think I'm going to trade this pick away. I'm hoping for 2... No? I want to move back. I got a minute to make a trade. Yes. Oh, shit. Oh, come on. How you feel about that, Indy? Ah. I might have to pause the draft. Ooh, did we find our match? We did not. Yeah, I lost my fucking pick. I'm gonna pause the draft. You still get to make your pick. You just get it next. I think that's shenanigans. Alright, so who's got the last pick in the draft? Isn't it the... It's the Packers or the Saints, I think. 222 for the Saints. $223 for the Patriots. Can't believe I missed my pick. What a noob. $224. So the Giants have the dead last pick. Didn't we already try and trade with them? I feel like we did. So let's go to the Pats. Really? Oh, did Brady retire? Oh, he did. Tom Brady retired. Fuck yeah. Shit, I'll give them Tyrod Taylor. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's what we'll do. So let's give up Tyrod. Oh, Stanton must have retired. Well, that's shit. Come here, Patriots. I want your 1st and your 2nd next year and your 7th this year. Oh, what a steal! Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. So I got to keep this pick, who I'm going to spend on one of those middle linebackers. Who do I like the best, though? Because I'm going to take Zolman because he's the best all around. He's a little bit at everything. Good pick. 70 overall middle linebacker. He's kind of the second coming of Joe Schobert. He's not really spectacular at anything, but he's solid at everything. I dig it. And with that second to last pick, somebody's willing to trade for me. 7th, 6th. I can get 6th round picks for the 7th round pick. 175th. You know what? I'm going to take this trade because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to sign that guy in free agency.
I think that means a trade is coming.
Yeah. End of the draft. I dig it. Do I have access to free agency? I don't. So I do not have... I'm sorry. Why is this guy on my team? Is this the guy I drafted? This is the guy I drafted. Okay. We still have Devontae Mays. No, I definitely did not sign Devontae Mays. He should not be on the team. Didn't sign... Oh, these are the practice squad guys. Okay. I got it now. Makes sense. Broke my brain a little bit, but I figured it out. Okay. Was this the kid we drafted that they told us was a bad draft choice? Martinez strong? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna take care of all that in the adjust roster portion. So we'll see who we're sitting on. Got Baker. I mean, let's be honest, Baker's the only guy we need. But we'll hit that up later. Isaac Solomon does look like he's going to be decent. Shit, he's got better hands than Duke does. He's not a better route runner. He does have better release, though. Shit. Can we play Solomon at receiver? I almost feel like that's the proper path. Well, maybe not. His route running is pretty poop. All right. So Bohannon's the fullback. Got 10 receivers. We're absolutely going to move Matt Lott to tight end. I just want to see the best run blocking receiver on the team. He's the second best. But that's just because Landry's a fucking dog. All right, so Matt Lott's going to go play tight end because, God, that's a big body. What is he? Yeah, that's going to be our... he's going to be our tight end. Good gracious. Alright, he is the worst run blocker on the team. But I do suppose that was to be expected. He's basically a second string tight. He's solid. If we just work on his blocking, which is clearly going to be his worst attribute his whole career, I think he'll turn out all right. He's only 22. Alright, so we're going to move Calhoun to corner. We'll just slide him back. He'll play our nickel role. What does that put him at overall wise? That makes him the third. Okay, so that's perfect. That's exactly what I was talking about doing. So that allows... Huh. I didn't realize Terrence Mitchell's zone coverage was so horrible. I think we're going to move on from Terrence Mitchell. I think we're going to offer him up on the trade market and get rid of him. And I think we're going to promote Crichton to number 2. We'll put Crichton outside, opposite Denzel Ward. Because really the only thing he needs to work on is his awareness, which 100% will come in due time. And then we'll have Calhoun and Carey be the nickel and dime corners. They'll work the slot. You can come at me all day with Terrence Mitchell's press. We're going to trade him 100%. And then we've got to take that kid we drafted, Martinez Strong. I'm going to move him to free safety. see if he goes up in overall. He doesn't. He stays at a 71. But I like him much better as a 71 free safety. Because he doesn't have to have great hit power. He doesn't have to have great tackling. He's got solid enough tackling. I like him. We gotta work on his hands, but I like him. Maybe we'll keep bumping up his run support, make him a better tackler. Get his block shedding up. Maybe we just keep boosting him up in zone. Have him be just obscenely good zone coverage corner or free safety. We'll see. But I like the squad. I want to get rid of Mitchell. I know we've been waiting for forever for Howard Wilson to come back and be healthy and make plays, but I just don't. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. Tavier Thomas is a good athlete, but I don't know if he's going to really buff out all that well. I think Ben Gaither's going to end up being really nice. If we can get him just to be a little bit faster, I think he'll be solid. Outside linebacker's fine. Donovan Turnbull. I can't say I recall ever drafting him. I think they auto-filled him, which makes me pretty upset. Great hit power. Really good power moves. What's his strength? 73 strength, 73 speed. So he's terribly unathletic, but shit, if anything, I might move him to defensive end. He's big enough. He's not necessarily beefy enough, but he's big enough. He's tall enough. I think that's what we'll do. Excuse me. We'll put him at left end. See what he looks like as a left end on the team. He's a 70. It's not terrible. Oh, he's definitely not a speed rusher. So they want at both positions? No, where they want run stopper at right end. Oh. I don't know. Is he a run stopper? I feel like he's a power rusher. So he's most definitely a power rusher. Smith is also a power rusher. Ogba's also a power rusher. So I need to change my scheme to get my left ends to be power rushers. Garrett can do whatever. It doesn't really matter. Zuddle's a run stopper. But honestly, he could do whatever. Right, yeah. Power rusher is probably his worst. And then Chad Thomas is a speed rusher. But could be whatever. I feel like I just need to flip everybody. I don't know. The scheme isn't really panning out all that well. Almost nobody on the defensive side of the ball is in scheme. Maybe we just go to a base 4-3? No, not base 3-4, base 4-3. Then that takes Avery out of position. That doesn't really fit with any of the defensive ends. We're built to be a 3-4. Run stopping right ends, run stopping defensive tackles. Still have the field general at middle linebacker. Tampa 2 is not awful, but then that takes Peppers out of scheme big time because he's absolutely not a zone cover strong safety. I don't hate the multiple 3-4. So then all those left ends that are power rushers make sense. All those right ends that can do whatever makes sense. The defensive tackles are all run stoppers. You get your weird power rushing linebackers. Field generals stay the same. Man corners stay the same. I don't know. I feel like base 4-3 is really what we're looking for here. I really do. I know that doesn't allow us the ability to have any power rushers on the outside. But at the end of it all, that's fine. So I think we're going to go base 4-3. It puts Avery in a weird place. But I think we can figure that out. I might just swap him and Kirksey because Kirksey's a run stopper. I think that's what we'll do. So I think we'll move Avery to the right outside. We'll put Kirksey. Well, I don't know, because that's not going to make a ton of sense. Because if we've got Garrett rushing hard from the right side, and Ogba more of a run stopper, I think maybe we just sit on what we have. Because Kirksey we can develop. He's young enough. He's quick. We can work on his coverage. The safeties fit. Most of the corners fit. Although I did want Crichton to be that outside guy. And then I wanted Calhoun and Carey. And then we'll trade Mitchell. I dig it. I like the team. I do. I like strong. I like it. It's good. It's a good set. I think we stick with it. We gotta get Landry to be a deep threat. And then we're good. I dig it. I think everybody's where they should be. We gotta pick up some quarterbacks. That's absolutely essential. I think we're going to cut Devontae Mays. We're not going to keep Hansen. We're not going to keep Willies. We're not going to keep Blake Jackson. Why? Why do you exist, Blake Jackson? You are tiny and slow. And you can't catch. Why do you exist? Go away. You're terrible. I think we keep Landry through Ratley. I think Hanson, Willies, and Jackson go. I think we're going to trade Fells. Farrell Brown's going to go to the minors. To the practice squad. Charlie Hewlett is not a fucking tight end. He is a long snapper. So we're going to put him at center, because that's where he belongs. Left tackle sorted. Left guard, we're probably going to get rid of Kalis. Center's fine. I don't know if we keep Eldrin Camp. We might. I'm thinking, Lincoln, that we can trade Hubbard away and get a nice haul, because he is a starting quality right tackle. We might be able to use him to fill something. I don't know. We don't really have any needs, per se. But I wouldn't be against, like, flipping him and Willies for, like, a quality receiver. Maybe another defensive tackle. All right. I dig the team. I like it. I think we're good. I think we're going to be good going forward. That Hulsey kid was a steal. What is he, like the 10th? 11th. He's the 11th rated kicker in the league, and he's a rookie. That's absolutely bonkers. But I think we're good. I think everybody is where they need to be. I mean, we can go and goof around with the players and see who all got drafted where and who did what. Todd Souter. Went first overall to the Cardinals, even though they have Rosen. He's a big old beefy boy. Jesus. I mean, I don't necessarily... Yeah, Bennett Bernard going to San Fran doesn't make any sense, even though he is a superstar. It's probably going to be great for him. Cornelius Mathis to the Jets. How did the Jets get the 3rd overall pick? Did they trade up? Do the Jets hold the 3rd pick? Maybe they do. I didn't think so. But I guess they do. Javonte Morgan going to the Raiders. If they use him as a pass rusher, makes sense. Bucks getting a corner makes sense. The Giants drafting a quarterback makes sense. The Jaguars taking an offensive lineman actually makes sense too. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a wash. I guess that makes sense, but they've got a lot of needs, so I'll take it. The Bills taking a center makes all the sense in the world. Getting another corner for the Broncos makes all the sense in the world. Same for the Bengals. Getting a new safety for the Packers makes sense. I guess it makes sense for the Dolphins. I feel like their secondary is solid, but that'll work. I feel like they should have gone defensive line, but that's not a terrible pick. They definitely needed a receiver. Free safety is good for them. We took a tackle. That's a good pick for them. Everybody did pretty solid. That's an alright pick. Give Mariota more weapons. There's your replacement for Shazier. Another any lineman for the Seahawks is a great play. They did need a left guard, so that's a good pickup. They get another nose tackle. Potentially. Doesn't look like he's actually going to be a nose tackle. Maybe he's just a freak. Yeah, he's just a freak. Just an absolute freak show. Great strength, great speed. Yeah, he's going to be phenomenal on that defense. An offensive lineman's good. They didn't need a strong safety. They did lose Marcus Hunt, so Ellen Youngblood will come in and play well. I like that pick. It's a good pick. An offensive lineman for the Raiders. Also good pick. Alright, I guess they did need a middle linebacker. That's solid. Another good offensive lineman. They actually get themselves a proper 3-4 middle linebacker, I guess. Patriots take a quarterback to replace Brady since he retired. And the Rams help out that atrocious secondary. Alright, now it looks solid. Who got the best player in the draft? So it was a tie between the defensive end and the right tackle. So that works. Mike Blackwell turned out pretty good. He wasn't anywhere near falling to us, though, so we were never going to get him. But I'll tell you what, he does look pretty fucking good. 6'1", great speed, great press. His zone coverage is poor, though. But you can always work on that. Had a chance at Jalen Preston. We didn't take him. We didn't need a guard. Hassan Patman, that's fine. You want to take a high-ranking running back, you do it. Whatever makes you happy. Could have gotten a tight end. Ishmael Spruill. I can't. I feel like I'm just going to be on loop, struggling to say Spruill. There we go. So that might have been the only other player we should have considered, but I think we did fine picking up Greenwood. He was a steal. Mitchell Dack. We could have had Mitchell Dack. 6'1", quick receiver. Not very fast, but he does have pretty good hands. Might have been something to consider. We got that fucking kicker in the 5th round. Absolutely knocked it out of the park with him. Craig Lane, receiver out of Marshall. 6'3", star. Pretty slow, though. Opposite of the deep threat we wanted. But he's going to be a hell of a red zone target. It's going to help out Mariota big time. Nice big-bodied receiver. Great hands. That'd be nice. And then Will Scioli, quarterback out of Michigan State. He looks halfway decent. But we don't need a quarterback. We got Baker. I feel like we did all right. Everybody we had access to ended up panning out pretty well. James Simmons might have been a nice pickup, but yeah, unathletic, not a great tackler, not great pursuit. Didn't really do anything well. Block shedding. Block shedding was good. Congratulations on your B- block shedding. Yeah. Pretty happy with the draft. Matt Curry was another guy we could have looked at. Same thing with him though. B+ block shedding. Pursuit was a C+. Hit power was a C+. Tackling was a B. So he might have been alright, but yeah, Morris Ferguson. He's a big old beefcake, didn't need him. Same with Jeffrey Huber. Rashawn Tam. We considered going after him. He's got normal development. He's a 76 overall. Nothing special. He's crazy fast. He's got great release, but nothing special. He's 5'10". Doesn't have good hands. He's good at getting open deep, but I'm cool on that. Yeah, no, I think it was a great draft. We could have picked up Gregory McKenzie, but again, he's nothing special either. 75 overall. He's got good acceleration, good block shedding, good strength, good pursuit. Tackling's poor, coverage is poor. I feel like that kid we picked up was pretty solid. That middle linebacker we had. Where's he at? 7th round middle linebacker we drafted. Yeah. Hansen Zolman. We took Turnbull, that outside linebacker. Switched him over to defensive end. Oh, they auto-drafted. That's the pick we skipped on, that we missed out on because we took too long trying to fight a trade. That's fine. He'll be alright on the outside. And then Hansen Zolman. I mean, tackling's basically just as good. Hit power's just as good. Pursuit's just as good. Play rec is better. It's better. I'm actually more okay with the Hansen Zolman pick. They dig it. And I think we are done. Who's coming back from injury? Pharaoh Brown is back, and Christian Kirksey is back. Alright, that's a solid look for us. Yep, Kirksey's back. He's going to start at right outside linebacker. We're going to start Avery at left outside linebacker. Vallejo's going to ride the pine. Jamie Collins is going to be the backup. Vallejo can back up Collins. Yep. And then middle linebacker, we've got Holman. And Vallejo can back him up. Works for me. So Tanner Vallejo is 3rd string across the board. He can kind of do it all, which is pretty fair. He's a solid tackler, okay in coverage, not really special at anything kind of guy, which is kind of what you're looking for. He's going to be a great special teamer. And we got Njoku starting, DeValve as his backup, Lott as the 3rd. We run the Browns offense runs a lot of 3 tight end sets, so he'll get some playing time for sure. Jesus, Barry Greenwood, why are you a 78 rated tight end? Please explain. Is it just based off your athleticism and blocking? It's gotta be. That's exactly what it is. It's just his athleticism and his blocking. Okay. Well, that might be something nifty to look into. Maybe move on from Seth DeValve, play Lott as our 2nd string tight end, and then have Barry Greenwood play 3rd string tight end. We'll start Hubbard on like heavy set packages and that sort of thing. But I like it. I like the team. I think we are pretty solid all around. We'll do fine. We're going to advance to the preseason. where we can start our training and all that stuff. But I think I'm going to wrap it up there. We've done the off season. We've done our signings. I'm probably going to trade a couple guys off screen because that's not all that exciting to watch. And then we'll come back with maybe preseason next episode. Maybe we'll just jump straight into regular season. But we've got it all taken care of, and we should be set to go for the season. Hopefully we make the playoffs. I don't see why we wouldn't make the playoffs. We're a pretty well-rated team. We'll see where we go from there. So, thanks for stopping by, and until next time, guys. Thanks for watching. See you.